This is the example video for finding the GCF, or the greatest common factor. So let's get started. So I'll take a look here and see what both terms are divisible by. So taking a look at the number, I have negative 81 and a positive 90. Well, I know both of those numbers are divisible by 9. Okay, so I will rewrite this as 9 times negative 9, because 9 times negative 9 is negative 81, times x, plus 9 times 10 times x times x squared. So if we take a look at this, we know both terms are divisible by 9. Both terms are also divisible by x. Okay? So our GCF is going to be 9x. And that's all we have to do for this level of the standard. Actually, I'll keep this one. So if we move over to this example, take a look and see that negative 2n to the 5th, 4n, and 10n squared are all divisible by 2. So I'll rewrite each term. So 2 times negative 1 times, and at this point I'm going to break down this n to the 5th based on what my smallest exponent is. So if I take a look, I have n to the 5th, n to the 4th, and n squared. That means all three of these terms have at least 2 n's. Okay, so that means I'll be able to take out 2 n's for my greatest common factor. So for the sake of the problem, I'll write this as n squared times n cubed plus 2 times 2 times n squared times n squared. And of course, that's the factorization of my 4n to the 4th minus 2 times 5 times n squared. So if I underline all terms that are common, I know they all have 1, 2, and they all have an n squared. So that means our GCF is going to be 2n squared. Alright, next example. So I'll take a look at my numbers first, or my coefficients. 21, 14, and 70 are all divisible by 7. So I'll break them down. 7 times 3. Now if I take a look at my variables now, so I notice that all three terms have an a. Okay? If I take a look at my smallest exponent, I notice that this term has 4 a's, this term also has 4 a's, and this term has just 3 a's. So that means all three of these terms have at least 3 a's. So I'll break it down in terms of my 3 a's. So a cubed times a minus 7 times 2 times a cubed times a, and same thing, I'll take a look at my b's to see if all three terms are divisible by b. 21a to the fourth is not divisible by b, so it will not be a part of my greatest common factor. So I'll just write times b cubed. Then of course minus 7 times 10 times a cubed times b. So I'll underline what's common. All three terms have a 7. All three terms have an a cubed. So my GCF is going to be 7a cubed. Perfect. Okay, now this next one we'll do in a shortcut type of way. Okay, so once you get really good at these, you don't need to break down each individual term like this. But to start off, it's a good strategy to do. But I'm going to show you my shortcut way. So I'm going to take a look at just my coefficients, or my numbers. So I've got 3, 15, 15, and 9. So the largest number that goes into 3, 15, 15, and 9 is 3. So I know my GCF is going to have a 3 in it. Now I'll take a look at my next term, which is my x. So x squared, x squared, and x. So my smallest coefficient of 2, 1, 2, and 1 is 1. So I know I'm going to have an x to the first power in there. Now if I take a look at my z's, my next term, I've got z squared, z cubed, and z squared. My smallest exponent is a 2, so I know I'm going to have at least 2 z's in all 4 of those terms. And now if we take a look at the y's, we've got y to the 7th, y, and our last 2 terms don't have a y, so it will not be a part of our greatest common factor.